Hey guys, it's Avery. So today's video is going to be part of a new segment. There's been a recommendation in the comments to do a video about dance, and people have been asking me how I got my splits and for some tips and tricks about that. So that's what we are doing today, and I have had a lot of experience with this because I am not naturally flexible at all. I had to really work for the flexibility I have, and there are some great stretches that help me get to where I am, and I will show them to you today. So first of all, it's very important to know where you are the least flexible. So the two main things you have to have flexible to have your splits are your hamstrings, right here, this part of your leg, or your hip flexor slash quad region, which is just the front of your hips right here. And whichever one you struggle with the most, you should stretch more often. Also, just a safety tip, make sure you stretch equally on each side. That is so important. It doesn't matter if you're better on one side and you really want to get your splits on this side. You can get injured if your body is unequally flexible. Alright, let's get started.
The first step is just to make sure you're super warm before you get started. So run on the elliptical or around your house, up and down the stairs, do some jumping jacks, whatever you can to make sure that you are starting to sweat a little bit and you've warmed up for at least 5 minutes. The next step is to stretch your hamstrings, and this stretch is pretty straightforward. You're going to start with your back leg at a 90-degree angle and your front leg in parallel in front of you, and as you can see, you just stretch over and you push against the ground after 8 counts and do resistance stretching, and repeat that about 3 times. It should take about a minute, and then we shift positions to turned out. You turn out your front and your back leg and stretch in the same way for a minute, and then you do jazz second. So you take your front leg out a little bit to the side, and this is just a different type of stretch, and it's all good. It all helps in your splits. And make sure you repeat both sides. Now it's time to stretch your hip flexor. First, to clear away a space where you can use the wall, and put your back leg up there on the wall. Make sure it's perpendicular to the floor, and your front leg with your knee over your foot so you don't hurt your knee. And sit here for around 8 counts, and then start pushing with your back leg as if you're trying to straighten it, and then relax back into the stretch. And repeat this a few times. I like to hold this for about 2 minutes, just until you think you don't feel as sore or tight anymore. And then, of course, repeat on the other side. And once you're comfortable with this stretch and want to make it a little more hard, just straighten your front leg and start sliding down into the splits. Another way to help your hip flexor is to go into your splits with something soft like a pillow or a beanbag on your knee so it can put more weight on your hip flexor. And while you're in your splits, the 3 positions that are good to do are to lean forward and grab your leg, lean back and stretch your hip flexor, and lay down next to your leg. That helps your side extension. When you're close to having your splits, it's great to use something like a stair or a stool and practice your super splits, which is just extended. And this will help you to get that last few inches. This is also great once you have your splits to practice your super splits and just keep gaining flexibility. And again, make sure to do it on both sides.
And that's all. If you have any more questions or comments, leave them down below. Otherwise, remember to keep shining and never be anyone but you. Bye! Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed that video, click the subscribe button and leave comments down below. What do you want to see next? Again, thanks so much for watching. Bye!